Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. I hope all of you are doing good. First of all, I would like to thank all of you for joining the live stream. If you have not subscribed to the YouTube channel, please make sure to do so, and please make sure to like the live stream as well. We have 30 people watching the live stream as of now, so yeah, please make sure to just like the live stream. And if you are not following me over Twitter, Sherlock Vale, this is my Twitter handle. I regularly post updates, analysis, and sometimes trade calls also over my Twitter account. So yeah, you can simply just follow me over Twitter. And if you would like to have a little bit more organized feed, then you can simply just join the Discord server. The link is going to be right below in the description. You can click on that link and join the Discord server. And I have some good news for you guys. The first one is that we are going to have a $150 giveaway. The steps extremely simple. All you have to do is, as soon as the live stream ends, all you have to do is just simply go to my Twitter account, like this pinned post, retweet this pinned post, and tag two of your friends down below, all right, on this post. And then you can simply just join the Discord server, open a support ticket, or there is this relevant channel made for you guys. You can share the proof, uh, screenshot, and you can participate in the $150 giveaway. And if you would pay attention to this post, you would notice that we are starting with 1,000 to $10,000 challenge. All right. So if you are someone who is looking to grow, sorry, 1,000 to $5,000 challenge. So if you are someone who's looking to grow their small account, and if you have, capital around like 500 to $1,000, then you can simply just join in this challenge. The rules, they have already been posted. Challenge is basically going to start from tomorrow. So it's a great opportunity. We were actually receiving a lot many requests from people saying that, okay, there should be a challenge going on in the Discord server. So we have finally launched the challenge. All you have to do is simply just join the Discord server and you can participate in this challenge. It's 1,000 to $5,000 challenge. We have already posted the rules and everything in our Discord server. So yeah, please make sure to join the Discord server if you are someone who is looking to grow their smaller account. All right. So uh, let's start with the live stream. And before I begin with the analysis part, as the title suggests, this live stream, it's basically going to be about live altcoin analysis, meaning that any of your favorite coins, you would simply just request it, simply just drop the name in the chat box, and I would try to chart it right in front of you for you guys. And before I begin with that, just a small update on BTC. We had this short trade open last night. Okay, we opened it at around $61,200 region. Price went on to $59,800 region. That's where our first TP was. We moved our stop loss to break even. The break even stop loss got hit, and I'm no longer looking to short at this point. Because the lower time frame structure, it's not super clear until and unless price breaks and closes above 61,800. That's when the 5 minute structure, it would be much more clear. But as of now, the reasoning for shorting, for taking this short trade, it was basically these equal highs present around here. These were not just equal highs present on the 4 hour time frame chart, but also on the daily time frame chart. And if you are a fan of simple man theory, all you have to do is just spot the equal highs on the 4 hour or any higher time frame chart, and you would be taking a short trade, and you would spot equal lows, and you would be taking a long trade. Now the reason I did take this short trade, I was expecting the price to go down slightly lower, maybe down to $58,500 region. That did not happen. We had the strong bounce happening from 59,800, and that's very much understandable also, because at this point in time, the reason for selecting $59,800 region as first TP was because if you would take out your Fib tool, draw Fibonacci retracement from the start of the impulsive wave to the end of the impulsive wave, this is the start of impulsive wave, you would notice that 65%, 61% Fib levels, they're present somewhere around here. So, this is going to be, by the way, a very important live stream because I would be live charting for you guys. You would actually get an idea that how exactly these setups they are being selected, right? How to chart a coin properly, what exactly are the confluences that I usually take into account, what exactly are the factors involved, right? So I would be doing it live in front of you. So in this case, you can clearly see that I selected my first TP, solely on the basis of Fibonacci retracement level. So it's an all-round tool. You can use it to select your TP, sometimes to select your stop loss as well, sometimes to select your entries, to find support and resistance areas, to find retracement zones, and almost literally everything, right? So it's a very important tool for me. So the first TP, it was at around 61.8% level or 65% level, 65% fib level, and that's where the bounce happened from, and that's where I was expecting the bounce to happen from. Was not expecting to get stop break even on this one, but yeah, I'm no longer in this short trade. I'm no longer looking to short at this point in time because the lower time frame structure, it's good to admit at some point, right? It's always a good idea to admit that, if you do not have a clear direction, if you do not have a clear idea about where exactly market is headed towards, about the higher time frame, I have absolutely stated this thing during the previous live stream also that we had back on Monday, that if you are someone who's looking on the higher time frame chart, 4 hour time frame chart, daily time frame chart, then you need not to absolutely worry about anything because a 4 hour structure, it's absolutely bullish. And eventually it's only a matter of time that we would break above 62,800 and we would just close a 4 hour candle above that zone. It's only a matter of time for me. As per if you would ask for my personal opinion, it's only a matter of time. We have to eventually go up to $68,000 region. That's where the major battle starts, right? But price is absolutely bullish on the higher time frame charts, but in order to take some lower time frame scalps, the structure, it's not super clear for me. That's why I'm usually just staying away from the market as of now. Okay, this was a short trade that I took. Okay, so let's start with the altcoin analysis. Any of your favorite coins that you would like me to look at, that you may think that there is a possibility of having a good setup, you can simply just drop in the chat box. I would be taking a look at. Here for the challenge, yeah, everybody is excited for the challenge once again. If you have a small account, $500, like we have set the minimum requirement at $500. So if you are somebody who has only $500 or $1,000 in their account and they're looking to grow their account, so it would roughly take us hopefully like 1 or 2 months to get up to $5,000 mark, but it's going to be a great challenge. Like it's a 5x move in any case. So we have already posted the rules and everything. Challenge is starting from tomorrow. It's not getting delayed. All you have to do is simply just click the link in the description, join the Discord server, or click on this link in my pinned tweet and you can join the Discord server and you can participate in the challenge. All right, you can open up a support ticket and support staff, they would be assisting you. Okay, so let's take a look at these altcoins one by one. Uh, Somebody is asking, bro, are you Indian? No, I'm not really an Indian. I am from Pakistan originally, but I'm living in Scotland, UK. So no, I'm not an Indian. Okay, chart MKR. Let's start with MKR MakerDAO. Okay, so just to just to give you guys context of the coins also that I would be charting, MKR was my favorite setup before BTC dumped down to $49,000 region, because the weekly time frame chart, the daily time frame chart, they look absolutely good. All right, MKR, it was one of my favorite setups, but unfortunately it did not play out well. That's where the higher time frame support was. Price did not give a strong bounce. There were few bounces happening, like 10%, 12%, 13%, but eventually it dumped down to $1,700 region. But anyways, let's try to chart MKR first of all. Let me remove all the previous drawings and I would be starting from the very beginning. Okay, so I usually start from the daily time frame chart. Now the reason for doing this is because the higher time frame you would go, the more accurate support, resistance, trend lines, chart patterns, etc. would become. The lower time frame you would go, the less accurate these things would become. I'm not saying that 4 hour time frame chart is a smaller time frame, it is a lower time frame chart, but the higher time frame you would go, the lesser amount of noise there would be present on the chart, meaning that you would have a very clear idea about what exactly market is doing as of now. For example, in this case, I open up the chart for MakerDAO MKR and you can clearly see that there is a resistance area present around here. Okay, even if you are somebody who is just a beginner, they don't have any idea about the rest of the confluences. Just by looking at this, you can clearly see that there is a strong resistance on the daily time frame chart present around here. Okay, and whenever we talk about support and resistance regions, the historical context, it is extremely important. All right, so you can clearly see that rejection, 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 rejection. So there were 4 times price was getting rejection of this area. Now, whenever we talk about support and resistance levels, it's not like they're created overnight. It takes some time for resistance or support regions to get created, which means that if you are selecting a region of support or resistance, if you're drawing a region of support and resistance, you should really be zooming out of your chart and look back in time and try to analyze if price has been reactive at these levels or not. If the answer is no, then you're drawn support to resistance area. That's not correct. Okay, the purpose of starting from the higher time frames is that you would draw a zone which price has reacted to most of the times. Then you would start dropping to the smaller time frame, to the 4-hour time frame chart, and then you would try to narrow down this region. Okay, because this could be looking a little bit wide on the 4-hour time frame chart. Anyway, so on the daily time frame chart, you can clearly see that there is a strong resistance area present around here. This is basically a flip zone. We usually call it a flip zone because support, we know that they can flip into resistance, resistance they can turn into support. So that's why we, instead of just calling it with a specific name, support or resistance, we simply just call it a level or a flip zone. So in this case, it's, as of now, it's acting as a strong resistance area. Now, this could have been a very good short trade. The reason for this is because if you would look at my trading strategy, it heavily depends upon retests, right? For example, if price is having rejection of this resistance area, eventually price breaks back up, what I would do is that I would simply just wait for price to retrace down a little bit, consolidate a little bit, and then I would wait for the retest part, and that's where I would be taking a long trade. And then I would, once again, the first retest, it's always a single best opportunity to take a long or a short trade. Then once again, you would wait for price to break below that region and wait for price to consolidate a little bit. Consolidation is telling you that sellers, they were not just able to break below this level, but they are also in complete control. They are persistent, meaning that price is now going to stay below that region for quite some time. Okay, this is what exactly is the purpose of looking at consolidation. Price breaks below that level, below this flip zone. Now it turns into a resistance area, consolidates a little bit, then comes back, retests at this area. This was a good retest, and you can clearly see that price is having some rejection around here. All right, and there were 2 equal highs also, although I'm never really using the equal highs when they're extremely close to each other. Okay, like there needs to be some distance between the equal highs and equal lows that you are usually using. But in this context also, you can clearly see that price had on the daily time frame chart 2 equal highs present around here, so you could have taken this short position. But although if price returns back to this area once again, what exactly this could be telling us. Okay, the context of everything is very important. Remember this thing. You cannot simply just draw a resistance area and say that, okay, this is a resistance area, let's just wait for price to break above. You should be a good storyteller when it comes to trading. You should be able to tell the story perfectly. So in this situation, in this case, price breaks below this resistance area, consolidates, comes back, retests at this resistance area. You clearly see that there was a small rejection happening, but at the same time, this was the rejection happening. All right, this is a rejection, but this was not a very strong rejection, meaning that price is now coming back to retest at this area once again. Okay, this clearly tells me that the rejection, it was a strong one, okay, initially, but now if price comes back to retest at this area once again, this was a very strong daily level. You can clearly see that the first time the price came back to this level, it was a strong bounce happening. Second time also small bounce, and then there was just another bounce happening, meaning that if you would look at the previous times price has reacted at these levels, there were strong bounces or rejections, right? Which means that it's not like it's a very it is actually a weak level. And also we are looking at the daily time frame chart, which tells us that the reaction, it should be a good one. But in this case, this was the first small reaction. Price is coming back to retest at this area back again, which tells me that the retracements, it is small in comparison to the previous situation, which means that price could simply just break above that level. Okay, but in any case, it's a resistance area as of now. We should be looking at it as a resistance area, but the intensity of retest, the type of retest, and the way the retest is happening, the context is very important. All right, the context of retest, the context of everything in trading is extremely important. So in this case, the retest is one thing, but the context of retest is also very important, and you can clearly see that if it was an ideal resistance, if the sellers were absolutely interested in this area, or if the sellers were in absolute control, price should have rejected something like this. There should have been a strong rejection happening, but that did not happen. Okay, we can clearly see this thing that did not happen. Price just had small rejection happening, and then once again is coming back to this area. This can also be seen in terms of the fact that there is a support area present around here, not on the daily time frame chart, by the way. This is not a daily time frame support. If you would look on the 4-hour time frame chart, it would be making much more sense. Okay, so on the 4-hour time frame chart, you can clearly see that there is a support area present around here, which tells us that it's very obvious that price is having a strong bounce from this region. And then you have some some higher highs and higher lows information also. For example, if you would look at this, although I do not like to look at structure like this, I would usually look it in a bookish way, but some people like to look at structure in a way where the internal structure is creating where the internal structure is creating higher highs and higher lows. They would be paying attention to it. So in this case, it's simply just internal structure, because on the 4-hour time frame chart, you can clearly see that this is a major swing high, this is your major swing low. All right, anything which is happening in between these 2 points, these two external structural points, is absolutely irrelevant usually. But in this case, some people like to call it this way, some people like to look at it this way, that they would look at the internal structure and they would say that, okay, price is making higher highs, higher lows. So internal structure is also giving us an idea about where exactly price is headed towards. So in this context, you can clearly see that the internal structure is making these higher highs and higher lows. So that's why we can expect the price to go and break above that resistance area sooner or later. Okay, but as of now, it's a strong daily resistance area. It should be treated in a very same manner. We should not really be saying that, okay, let's just take a long trade around here since price is going to break above. No, a resistance is a resistance as long as price doesn't break above. A support is a support as long as price does not break below. It's as simple as that. Okay, the context is a good thing, storytelling is a good thing, but you should be treating it in its general sense also. Anyways, so the next thing we need to pay attention to is the structure part, right? What exactly is the structure looking like? So you had price continuously making these higher highs and higher lows. If I draw the structure for you guys, okay, so this is your impulsive wave, this is a corrective wave. Let's suppose impulsive, corrective, another impulsive wave, corrective wave, and then you had an impulsive wave. Let's just try to ignore the rest of these waves. Let's just pay attention to this one. You have impulsive wave. This was your impulsive wave, last impulsive wave, and then you had a corrective wave, and then you had another impulsive wave. This wave, it cannot be considered. I know that a lot many people, they don't have a very good understanding of market structure or market structure mapping, and they are usually confused at these points. Okay, but if you would look at this region closely, okay, if I just try to explain to you the pullbacks or the corrective waves in the simplest possible way, then in an uptrend, it's a candle which creates a new high, and then the next candles, without creating a new high, need to sweep the low of that candle. Okay, in this case, this was the candle that created the new high, and the next candle, without creating a new high, swept the low of this candle, which means that this should be considered as a valid pullback. Okay, but in this case, this is not a valid pullback. Why? Because this was the candle that created the new high, and the next candles, although they did not create a new high, but they were also not able to sweep the low of this candle. And then eventually a new high got created, which means that the first condition, it was not met, and that's why this is not a valid pullback. And that's where the majority of the people, they get confused about. Also, before I proceed further with this thing, with the analysis part, if you would look over my Twitter account also, just yesterday I posted this thing that the majority of the altcoin structures, they look absolutely horrible. Okay, especially on the higher time frames, daily time frame charts, and the weekly time frame charts, they look absolutely horrible. almost 70 to 80% of the altcoins, they have continuously been making these lower lows and lower highs. Okay, MKR or any other altcoins, it's no different. Okay, that's why, whenever people mention this altcoin rally, I'm a little bit reluctant to comment on that, because this, if you look at the higher time frame structures, you would notice that price is just making these lower lows and lower highs on the higher time frame, which means that the structure on the higher time frames, it's bearish for the majority of these altcoins, which is not a good thing. All right, so this is your last corrective wave, and you should be drawing a change of character somewhere around here. But if we would look at the proper definition of change of character, you would notice that in order to have a proper in order to have a proper change of character, market structure shift on the chart, there needs to be a candle close. Whenever we talk about break of structure, there needs to be a candle close at whatever time frame we are looking at. Even if we are looking on the daily time frame chart, there needs to be a proper candle close. So in this case, there was only a wick below this level. Okay, so I would shift my point, change of character point, to somewhere around here, and then there was another wick around here. Okay, let me just try to extend this something like this. 1 second, I'm sorry. Oh my god, what's happening? Okay, so there was another wick breaking below this level. There was no candle close, so I would have to shift my change of character point to this region. Once again, there were wicks, 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 and I would have to finally move my change of character point to somewhere around here, meaning that the change of character, it has already happened around here. Okay, some people, this is a sort of controversial thing. Some people would simply just look at the VIX and they would start considering this as a change of character. And then there is this another school of thought. As per that school of thought, the second school of thought, you cannot take into account VIX. VIX don't really matter when it comes to change of character or break of structure. There needs to be a proper candle close. So in this case, I'm usually a fan of the second school of thought. I usually do not consider VIX, because for me, VIX are simply just liquidity sweeps. All right. So in this case, the proper change of character on the daily time frame chart just happened back with the dump on 5th of August, right? But in any case, even if you would consider only VIX, you would understand that market was already making these lower lows and lower highs. Okay, this is a structure that you are looking at usually. Okay, this is the structure that you are actually looking at. Now, if this is your change of character, okay, let's call it your change of character, then there is every possibility this is your last major swing point, or this could also be a last major swing point. Okay, now it's completely up to you which major swing point would you like to select. I would like to select this one, because if we happen to select this one, okay, if we try to select this one, it would be a very wide range, because I have to eventually draw the Fibonacci retracement level. So it's sort of compulsion for me that I cannot select these swing points, although they could be valid ones, although they are the most legitimate ones. I would still have to go with this swing point. All right, what I would do next is that I would take out my Fib tool. I would draw Fibonacci retracement level. Since it's a downtrend, this is an impulsive wave, I would take out my Fib tool, draw Fibonacci retracement levels from the start of the impulsive wave to the end of the impulsive wave. You do have a choice to draw it from this point, but I would not take that risk. I would simply just draw it from this point. All right, and then you can clearly see that there is a short position that could be built somewhere around 65% Fib level, placing stop above this high. Okay, and then you can target the next regions ahead. Okay, at least this is my thought looking at the structure part and then looking at the support and resistance part. The only problem that we could be faced with is that if price starts breaking above this level, a major horizontal level, which is in the form of this region, it would be reclaimed, meaning that a short trade around here could be a risky one, because even if but even in that case, it would still be a good one. Why? Because we are not trading extremely close. I usually call it a sandwiched situation. A sandwiched situation is when price is trading in between two very price is usually trading in between a very narrow range, meaning that there is, if you're taking a long trade, there is a support region right below you and there is a resistance area right above you, meaning that you are in a sort of a sandwiched situation. But in this case, This is no sandwich situation because there is a clear gap between your entry point and then this horizontal support region, which if price breaks above would be fully reclaimed. So in this case, it's a 15% level, which means that even if price fully reclaims this area, this could still be a feasible short position, because if let's suppose price starts getting rejecting off this area and then drops down to this support area, you would still be moving a stop loss to break even because it's a 15% move down from entry. All right, so in this case this looks like a good short position for me. Then we have to look at a few other things also. So this is your horizontal level, and this is your this is going to be the market structure part. You would be placing your stop loss above this area. This is not an ideal stop loss, but we do not have any other choice. We should still be placing a stop loss above this high. Okay, we will be taking this short trade. Okay, the good thing, the best part would be, the ideal case scenario would be if price just wicks up to this area, because in that situation there would be no reclaim of this area. But that I don't really think it's going to happen. We are looking at the daily time frame chart. It's not possible for price to just wick up, and give a 29%, 30% move just in one daily candle. That's not really a possibility. Looking at the chart for MKR, this doesn't look like a very feasible situation. But in any case, this could be a very good short position. It's a no sandwich situation. Even if the reclaim of this level happens, we can still be taking this short position. But the structure, you can clearly see that it looks absolutely bearish. You had to a sort of, this would be much more clear if you would drop to slightly smaller time frame, like the 12-hour time frame chart. You can clearly see that there are two double top present around here, and this was a neckline of the double top. Price breaks below, never retested the neckline of the double top. Okay, but you just have to, in any case, draw the context on the chart that there are two equal, these are not equal highs, but these are two actually double tops present around here, which means that this was a perfect reversal happening. All right, I don't know if this was historically a resistance area or not. I don't really think so. Okay, so yeah, this was actually, historically speaking, a resistance area. If you would drop to the weekly time frame chart and you would draw resistance area somewhere around here, then you would notice that these double tops, they were formed exactly at this resistance area, at this weekly resistance area. Now if you are someone who has been watching some of my previous live streams, you would know this thing, that whenever I talk about reversal patterns, for those of you who don't know, double top, double bottom, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulder chart pattern, these are all reversal chart patterns. There are usually two categories of chart patterns. We have reversal chart patterns and then we have continuation chart patterns. So whenever it comes to reversal chart patterns, you only consider the ones that are formed at some higher time frame support or resistance area. So if you're talking about a double top, which is basically a bearish reversal pattern, so in this case it needs to be formed at some higher time frame resistance area. If you're talking about a double bottom, it needs to be formed at some higher time frame support region. Okay, so in this case this double top was actually formed at a higher time frame weekly resistance area. So you should have taken this short position as soon as you were able to spot these two double tops formed, because the first top, the second top, the neckline, unfortunately the the retest of the neckline did not happen. If it had happened, in my opinion, would have been an absolutely good trade, but did not happen in this situation. But in any case, this double top, it was formed at this high time frame resistance area. You could have seen price breaking below this level. You could have placed your stop above these highs, and you could have simply just targeted this support region ahead. 1.8 risk to reward ratio, still a good one in my opinion, but 37% move down from entry. So in this situation, once again, drawing the context, it is extremely important. The higher time frame you would look at, the higher time frame you would pay attention to, you would notice that price is continuously making these lower lows and lower highs. All right, a few other things also we can look at. For example, if you would look at MTF 200 EMA, MTF 200 EMA, by the way, once again, it is an extremely important indicator. Every single live stream of mine, I usually try to explain to people that how logical this indicator actually is. It's not really like an illogical indicator. It's not generating any buy and sell signals for you. It's simply just making things much more feasible and much more easier for you. So instead of having like 200 period exponential moving averages drawn on a chart, or instead of simply just going back and forth between different time frames and trying to analyze where 200 period exponential moving average is present, this indicator, it simply just draws, it simply just plots 200 period exponential moving average and all these different higher time frames, daily time frame chart, weekly time frame, 3-day, daily, weekly, 4 hour, 12 hour, and then it simply just takes the average of all these different 200 period exponential moving average. So in this case, you can clearly see that price was bouncing off 200 MTF 200 EMA. Finally, price broke below MTF 200 EMA, and this was a very good support region. Okay, and in this situation, price finally broke through, then came back to retest at this horizontal resistance area, and this was not just a retest at this horizontal resistance, but this was also a retest at MTF 200 EMA, and I've hardly seen that the retest of MTF 200 EMA fail. So in this situation, there is a greater possibility that price would once again have a strong rejection from this high time frame resistance area. You can take a look at quarterly and yearly VWAPs also. There is a greater possibility, once again I say, that price would be once again having strong rejection from this point. Okay, you can actually take a risky short position just at this spot, placing your stop loss just above these two highs. It's only going to be a 3.53% stop loss, because in this situation you have MTF 200 EMA and then you have yearly VWAP on the daily time frame chart aligning perfectly in this zone, which means that it's going to be a very good resistance area. And then you have this horizontal resistance also. So all in all, it looks like a very good short position to me. I have already set the alerts around here. So if price comes back to this area, I would probably be taking this short position, because once again you have yearly VWAP and then you have MTF 200 EMA, and whenever any of the stronger dynamic lines, they align with each other or they're crossing each other, and then there are hardly any instances. This is a very rare example. If price comes back to retest at this spot, it's going to be a very rare example, because hardly you would ever see that two higher time frame dynamic lines, they are coming very close to each other, and then price also is retesting at those zones. Okay, whenever this happens, usually they act as very good strong resistance areas. In this case, it's a resistance area, so it's going to act as a very strong resistance area in my opinion. So you can take a risky short position, just placing a stop above these highs, and then simply just targeting any next region. You could simply just be targeting this low present around here. It's still a 5 risk to reward ratio, is a good one in my opinion. I have already set the alerts around here. So this is my opinion about MKR. Just to give you a quick recap, price is still trading under very strong resistance regions in the form of MTF 200 EMA, in the form of quarterly VWAP, in the form of yearly VWAP, and then you have this strong horizontal resistance area present around here. The structure, it looks absolutely bearish. So I would be a little bit surprised if price just goes on to break above this high anytime soon, because structure, it's looking absolutely bearish. The rest of the things also look bearish. There are a few other things that you can also look at, for example, anchored VWAP, non-anchored VWAPs, and then you can look at some high volume nodes also. It's a good thing if you would look at the volume profile. It's a good thing that there is a high volume node present around $2,700 region, which means that if price comes back to this area, you can try taking this short position, because there is a daily point of control present around here, around $2,700 region. So you would have two layers of resistance. The first one being in terms of strong daily Fibonacci levels, and second one in terms of this daily point of control. All right, so it's a good thing. If price returns back to this area, we can still take this short position. All right, and this one also you can take. It's going to be a slightly risky one, because the stops, they're extremely tight, but yeah, you can still take this one. Okay, so that's all about MKR. Let's take a look at, we are short on time, we only have like 1 hour. We need to be taking a look at few other coins also, so let's do that quickly. What is the app he is using? It's TradingView Terminal. Edwin is asking, best way to learn independent analyzing. I'm 18 years old. Yeah, you can, the best way is to simply just make use of YouTube. Just read some books, okay? Because YouTube, and make sure to have a Twitter account also. Twitter is going to help you a lot. Although as soon as you would open up a Twitter account, you would get to read 10 different opinions about the market. Even if I just open up my feed, half of them would be saying that, okay, market is going to go down. Half of them would be saying it's going up to moon. All right. So you would get to hear a lot, many of these conflicting opinions, but at the same time, you would be getting an idea, as long as they are sharing something, as long as they are explaining to you that why exactly they are bearish or why exactly they are bullish. As long as they are doing this, okay, you would get an idea about what exactly are they thinking, why exactly are they being bearish, why exactly are they being bullish, what exactly are the confluences that they are using, and making use of all those confluences, you can finally just reach upon your own trading strategy. All right, so uh, make sure to just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Make sure to like the live stream also, because once again, that really helps me. That really helps us. That really motivates us to get more and more educational content for you guys. Let's take a look at the next coin. Since there are so many other requests, so I need to be selecting one of these. OP Soul. Soul has a very choppy price action. Okay, it's bouncing off 138. 160 is a strong resistance area. I can tell you about Soul without even looking at the chart. It's a very choppy price action. We had a short position open at $160 region. I still regret to this date why exactly I closed that short position. But yeah, that's all about Soul. Soul is having a very choppy price action as of now. There is no point looking at the chart for Soul, but at the very same time, it's one of the very few high time frame charts that are not bearish, which means that Soul has every possibility. Once market stabilizes a little bit, there is every possibility that Soul would eventually go up to its all-time high. In comparison to the rest of the altcoins, you would notice that you talk about OP, you talk about LDO, you talk about so many other altcoins. You would notice that they are even down below their bear market lows, which means that things are not looking good for the rest of these altcoins. Anyway, so let's say, okay, Jasmine is one of my favorite coins. Almost like a few months ago we had a 700% move on Jasmine. We were able to catch it, so it's one of my favorite coins. Jasmine. Okay, I think we were able to spot Jasmine somewhere around here. Yeah, so this was our entry on Jasmine. It was still, so we closed our position somewhere around here. So it was a 700 move up from entry. Jasmine, it's a good chart. Anyway, so let's take a look at this. The first thing that we would do is that we would draw a higher time frame support or resistance area. All right, so in this situation there is a higher time frame support present around here, although I absolutely do not like the fact that price has retested this support almost like 5 to 10 times already. This is a very similar chart when you would compare it to Ethereum, because Ethereum was retesting at $2,800 over and over and over again, and everybody was saying that okay, let's buy at $2,800. That's the easiest possible buy opportunity that you can get. All the big crypto Twitter accounts were saying the very same thing, and eventually what happened, price broke below $2,800 region and it was a huge wick down below. Okay, so the first immediate thought looking at the Jasmine chart for me is that price is trading although above this high time frame support area, but at the very same time we have got little too many retests of this high time frame support region, which is not looking like a good thing. In my personal opinion, it's not a good thing. But anyways, this is your high time frame support. We need to draw a high time frame resistance also. It's going to be somewhere around here. Okay, you can clearly see that this is your high time frame resistance area. You had first, second, third, fourth rejection, finally came back up, price retested, then finally broke below, retested rejections, and finally came back up, retested, and finally just went up, then finally broke below. So let's set an alert somewhere around here. We should be, the moment we get a retest at this higher time frame resistance area, I would absolutely be taking a short position on Jasmine. Okay, now the reason for this is because let's quickly pay attention to the structure part also. So you have a break of structure present around here, break of structure, then you have another break of structure around here. Let's completely ignore the rest of the things. Oh no, this is not a good thing, because if this is a valid break of structure, this cannot be considered as a valid one, because in this case price only wicked above. All right, so this would become your major swing low. The range is going to be quite wide in this situation. This is going to be a major swing low, major swing low, and this is going to be a major swing high. So in this situation, on the daily time frame chart, surprisingly, this is a surprising thing. This is a major swing high. Surprisingly, price has gone down almost like 63% from its all-time high, I guess. But still, the structure on the daily time frame chart, it's still bullish as long as it is trading above this major swing low. If it breaks and closes below this major swing low, a daily candle, that's when the structure would be turning bearish. And that's only if if you are someone who is like me and who is not considering VIX to be a valid break or structure. But if you are somebody who is considering VIX to be a valid break or structure, or if you are paying attention to the internal structure part, then you would notice that price started making these lower lows and lower highs long ago, right? So you have a structure something like this, and there is every possibility that price would eventually come back to retest at this resistance area, and that's where we can take our short position. Okay, now let's we have already established, we have already decided on this fact that if price gets back to this area, this is a strong resistance area. Price has previously reacted to this strong resistance area, meaning we can definitely take a short position around here. This is a sort of established fact for us. All right. Even if we would draw Fibonacci retracement level in this impulsive wave, okay, this is your start of impulsive wave, this is your end of impulsive wave, you would notice that 61, 65, 70.5% fib levels, they're present somewhere around here, meaning that I can take this short position. The stop loss, I'm just warning you, the stop loss is going to be huge in this situation. It's going to look something like this. It's completely up to you, or you could simply just place your stop loss something like this. Okay, only take into account 70.5, 65 and 65 and 70.5% fib level. Although I would usually take into account the 78.6% fib level also. That's also a level that I'm always looking at. But in this situation, let's ignore this. You can also take into account, just to be on the safer side, because I know that a lot many people do not understand the true meaning of risk management, and they would not really want to place a stop loss above this high. That's why I'm just trying to be a little bit cautious around here. And then you can find a good working fractal on the chart. Okay, you have a resistance area present around here. The internal structure looks bearish. We are not talking about external structure here. In this case, the fib levels are present around here. You have two strong confluences asking you to take a short trade. You can find one complete working fractal on the chart, and using that fractal, you can extend it and expect the price to drop down to those levels. All right. So in this case, let's suppose this is your start of impulsive wave and this is your end of impulsive wave. In this case, price perfectly got rejected around 70.5% fib level, meaning that I can extend this fractal ahead in time, and the first reaction, it should be happening at 127%, and the next reaction, it should be happening at 161.8 or 165% fib level, which is going to be somewhere in the middle of this, which means that the daily time frame chart, if I'm able to catch this move right here, it's going to be no surprise, right? Price could be just going up something like only 17% move, it's up, right? So if price gets up to this resistance area, I can definitely take this short trade. I would definitely be interested in taking this short trade. All right. A few other things also you can look at, like MTF 200 EMA. In this situation, MTF 200 EMA, it's not present because I suppose that it's not getting displayed, all right, on this chart, because there is not enough price action available. You can look at quarterly and the yearly VWAPs. All right, price actually had a bounce from yearly VWAP on the daily time frame chart, and by the way, this was a first half retest of yearly VWAP. First time price broke above 7th of February 2024. So this was the first half retest in like 7 to 8 months. Okay, there would be a significant support present around here, but at the same time, you have yearly VWAP, you have quarterly VWAP in the very same entry zone, meaning that now you have three confluences. All right, you would have the quarterly VWAP on the daily time frame chart acting as a strong resistance. Then you would have this region, a daily time frame, higher time frame resistance area, and then you would have the fib levels also present around here. Okay, so let's finally look at the volume profile also. Okay, not a good thing on the daily time frame chart. The volume profile currently is present around here, but in these situations, I would normally use the replay button. Okay, I would use a replay button and try to find out where exactly the the historical the historical point of control levels have been. So in this situation, there is no POC present around in this entry zone. Not a good thing in my personal opinion. Even if price gets rejected from this area, it would still be stalling somewhere around here. Okay, it's a slightly confusing chart, honestly speaking, because the external structural points, the external structure also, it has not turned bearish, although price has gone down almost like 60%, 70% down from its all-time high. All right. So not a super good chart in my opinion. You don't have like too many confluences present on this chart. You can look at few other things like any order blocks or any other chart patterns, etc. But overall, it's not looking like a very good chart. The one that I would really like to trade. You can drop to the smaller time frames like 4 hour and then try to find an entry on the chart. But even in that situation, this is going to be a resistance area. You can try taking a short position around here. Maybe try placing a stop loss above this high. All right. On the 4 hour time frame chart, you can clearly see that price has been making these lower lows and lower highs. That's how your structure is looking like. This was the last high that got created. Price was not able to break above that high, only wick above this high. So it would be a good thing if price only wicks to my entry, without having any candle close. So if at any point price just closes above this area, 4 hour candle above this area, then the 4 hour structure, it would be turning bearish. So once again, I would not really want to take that short position on it, because a 4 hour structure, it would be turning bearish. In these situations, usually the strategy that I use is multi-time frame analysis. So I would wait for price to get back to this higher time frame resistance area. Then I would drop to maybe 15-minute and 5-minute time frame charts and wait for a structure shift or market structure shift or change of character. And that's when I would be entering into that short position, having a tight stop loss in most of the cases. All right. So that's the strategy that I usually use whenever I'm confused about the overall structure part. So Jasmine is not a very good chart in my opinion, because you have price trading in this very narrow range. It's for almost like past 7 to 8 months, price is mostly traded in this range. So you have a support area, strong support, then you have a strong resistance area present around here. So price is mostly going to trade in this range for quite some time. But overall, the structure looks bearish, the internal structure looks bearish, and eventually I believe that it would fall back down to these regions. Okay, this is going to be an absolute good of a buying opportunity if at any point you get it right. It may take like few months to buy at this point, this region on the chart, but if it happens, in my opinion, it's going to be an absolutely mind-blowing one, because the next resistance is going to be present around here. If you're able to catch this move, it's going to be an easy 2x move, right? You can set an alert around here and wait for price to get back to this point. Let's take a look at, can you explain point of control and how it serves as a confluence? People have different explanations about point of controls. People have different ways of finding point of control. Whenever it comes to volume analysis, it simply is just referring to the point where price has stayed for quite some time, where price has been, where there has been the most buying or selling activity in that range. All right, this is what usually POC is referring to. You can draw POC in terms of order blocks. You can draw POC in terms of any other confluence that you are using. It's a term that is that is being widely used, that has a wide use case usually. But in terms of volume analysis, the way that I personally use it, POC, is that I would try to find a historical POC where price has not previously reacted to. Okay, so once again, I would draw POC on the chart, and then I would simply use a replay button, and then I would try to find the regions, a POC where price did not react to, and eventually it got shifted. Like if you would turn on the POC, you would notice that it's continuously shifting, right? In this situation, point of control, the daily point of control, it was present around here because this was the most traded region. You can actually see that it's continuously shifting. All right. For example, if I just play it from somewhere around here, okay, on this chart, it's mostly staying in this zone, but usually it's always shifting. So most of the times you would notice that POC just simply shifted from this point up to this point. And that's where I'm usually looking at. I would wait for POC to shift to a point where the reaction has not happened. In this case, you can clearly see that POC has reacted once and this was also the second reaction. There have been multiple reactions. Price has been stalling in this range. Okay, that's why POC is staying around here, because this is the most tradable region. That's where the price has been stalled for quite some time. That's where the buying and selling activity is taking place. All right, in comparison to the previous zones, because price just broke below this level impulsively. There was no activity here. The major activity is present around here, so it's very obvious that POC is present in this region. But I'm usually looking for point of controls that have not been retested, that have not been reacted to, and that's where, and I would try my best to find an entry zone in which there is one such POC, point of control, present. Because even in the case price gets to that entry level, even if I have like multiple confluences, I would still have POC on my side which has not been retested. So it all comes down to the retest part. I would always be looking at the regions, even if it's about support, resistance, chart patterns, trend lines, or any other confluence. I'm usually always looking at the levels that have not been retested before. Okay, because first retest, remember, for me, it's always a single best opportunity to enter into a long or a short setup. BNB, once again, BNB chart also is bullish. It's not bear. It's not looking bearish. Let me show you. Okay, so this is a chart for BNB. The structure is not bearish for BNB. Okay, even if you would draw it all over again, the structure is not bearish. This was the last break of structure. This was your change of character point. But the good thing is that on the BNB chart, this was the wick that came down below this level. Then there was this other wick that came down below this level, which means that there have been wicks. And it's a good thing that, price barely closed below that level, which means that there is no change of character on the BNB chart. The structure is still bullish, but we have been failing to reclaim this level, and you can clearly see that price. And this is what I usually mean by the context. This is what I usually mean by the reaction at certain levels. Price was having strong rejection at this resistance area. Then eventually we came back up. Okay, consolidation happened, but at the same time there was an impulsive sell off taking place when price went back to this area. Okay, there was an impulsive sell off taking place. So usually, you would not, if you're about to trade a level, if you're about to trade a support level, even if the retest is happening, even if the proper consolidation is happening, you would still not wish to trade a region if there is an impulsive buyback or impulsive sell-off taking place. In this case, it's going to be a good shot at this area, because this has been an untested region. The retest has not happened. This is going to be the first retest. The first small retest happened around here, but this is going to be the first complete retest. All right, so I would set my alert somewhere around here. Okay, even on the weekly time frame chart, let's quickly move to the weekly time frame chart. Even if you would draw fib levels from the start of the impulsive wave to the end of the impulsive wave, considering that, okay, all of this is just one huge impulsive wave, then in that situation, you can take a small short trade at this point. Maybe place your stop just above this resistance area. Okay, let's move on to the daily time frame chart. Okay, so that's where you can try taking a short position, risky short position on BNB, although things are looking bullish as of now. But you can set an alert around here, wait for price to get to this area, wait for the 5-minute structure shift, and you can try taking a short position on BNB and target this low present around here. Okay, you can take a small short position, but based on the structure shift on the smaller time frame chart. Looking at the dynamic lines, let's ignore this volume profile. Looking at the dynamic lines, and not a good thing, this short position, because on the daily time frame chart the quarterly VWAP is present around here, meaning that if you would take this entry, this would mean that this quarterly VWAP, it has been fully reclaimed. It's going to be a sandwiched situation. There is only 5% difference between your entry and the quarterly VWAP. And looking at MTF EMA, it's still acting as a bullish thing. Just like on the BTC chart, you can clearly see that this was the first retest of MTF EMA, this was the second retest, and this was the third retest of MTF EMA. All three of them have been successful ones. I don't know how many of you are using MTF EMA or not, but this is an absolutely powerful indicator. So not interested in trading. It's never really about trading every single chart. I don't know how many of you understand the statement or not, but it's not like you would open up any chart and then you would try to trade it. Okay, for example, in this situation, I'm not really interested in trading BNB. The reason for this is because you have quarterly VWAP present around here. Yes, if price comes back to this area, that's where I would be taking a small short trade, but having an extremely tight stop loss even in this situation. All right, but apart from that, I don't really like the BNB chart as of now because the higher time frame structure, it's still looking bearish. It's still looking bullish. Although the internal structure, it may look slightly different, but the higher time frame structure, it's still looking bullish. And BNB, it's one of the strongest coins. BNB is not going anywhere, so that's why I'm usually always reluctant trying to take a short trade in BNB. This was a good short one. This was a good short trade and was able to catch the move down to this MTF 200 EMA. Let's lastly take a look at SUI because I know that a lot many people got stuck in this coin for no possible reason. I was advising against trading or taking a long on SUI. A lot many people thought that okay, there was a partnership being announced by BlackRock, or I don't know which was the what was the news exactly, but that's when BNB actually SUI actually had this huge pump, and then we had this trade dump going on. And at that point in time, I was warning people that this is a strong resistance area. Price broke above that resistance area, but was not able to reclaim that resistance area. You can clearly see that there was no consolidation happening above in that zone, clearly telling you that the reclaim of this zone, the reclaim of this flip zone has not happened as of yet. So if you took a long trade somewhere around here, you were absolutely messed up situation because price, you can clearly see that created a perfect deviation move around here, and this was a very good short opportunity on SUI. You could have placed your stops just above in this zone and you could have taken this short position, because usually whenever a deviation move some like this happens, price would usually fall back into the zone, come back, retest, and then it would start falling back down. I have been looking to take a long at SUI somewhere around here, 65% fib level. That's going to be my preferred level. If price falls back down to this zone, I would definitely be taking a long trade. It's going to be a slightly risky one, but there are few confluences present around here, but no higher than that. Okay, so if you are someone who is waiting to take a long or waiting to build a position, at least wait for, because there was a perfect deviation move happening around here as well, which means that we can still wait for price to fall back down to this zone. This is going to be the first retest of the trend line after the break above, and the first retest of this higher time frame support region also. And I believe there are a few other confluences present, so that's why I would definitely be taking this long trade. Anyway, so if you guys would like to, for those of you who joined uh, into the live stream just now, if you are somebody who has a smaller account and they would like to participate in the challenge, we are having 1K to 5K challenge in our Discord server, which is starting from tomorrow. All you have to do is just simply click the link in the description of the YouTube live stream, or you could simply just go to my Twitter account and you can simply just click on this invite link, join the Discord server, open up a support ticket, and you can join this challenge. All right. Second important good news is that you can participate in a $150 giveaway, the winners for which I would be announcing in Saturday's live stream, like a day after tomorrow. I would be announcing the winners of $150 giveaway. All you have to do is just go to my Twitter account, like this tweet, retweet this tweet, and then tag two of your friends. And then once again, click on this link, join the Discord server, share the proof with the support team, and you would automatically be participated in the Discord giveaway. That's all you have to do is to win $150 giveaway. Finally, I have been saying this, that we are literally having a very good opportunity for all of you to learn from me. One-on-one sessions we are having. So if you are someone who would like to join the mentorship program, the original cost for mentorship program, it was $1,000. Now it's only starting from $250. There is a beginner module, there is an intermediate module, and then there is this advanced module. There are a few very important topics that we have included in this whole mentorship program. You can clearly see that the confluences that I'm personally using, and the best possible thing is that this program, it's going to be for a lifetime, which means that for no matter which module you are registering for, even if you are registering for beginner level or for the advanced levels or for the intermediate level, you would be staying in our mentorship Discord program for the lifetime. You would be given the credentials for your for your personal account, on our website foxen.org. That's where you would get the credentials. That's where you can access all the recordings, all the live lectures, all the resources. You would have indicators, you would have books, and then you would have other plenty of resources. If you would like to have a trial for the mentorship or any such thing, you can simply just DM me over Twitter, or you could simply just join the Foxen Discord server, and we would show you the testimonials and everything. All right, so this is a complete course outline for the mentorship program. Once again, it's starting only from $250. So for those of you who are really interested in the learning part, this is a great opportunity, because the batch, it has just started. There are already 100 plus students registered in the batch. So yeah, that's why I'm saying that, try to just register into the program, because this is going to be a very good opportunity. All right, so that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining in. I hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Please make sure to give us the feedback. Please make sure to like the live stream. Also, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Comment down below your honest feedback. Also, once again, thank you so much for joining in. Take care and have a great week ahead. See you guys on Saturday. That's when I would be announcing the winners of $150 giveaway. So please make sure to join that live stream. Thank you so much. Bye bye.